All right, guys, we can all agree if there's anything frustrating, it's a situation where you're all geared up, you want to go for a ride, but your bike won't start. That's my situation right now. All right, so this situation I'm currently having is that, see, power is still there. When I turn on, the dash is coming on, but then when I crank, yeah, I can hear that sound, the starter motor. Yeah, so that's my situation currently. My bike won't start. Battery's really down. So my plan is I have to check first to see if the battery is okay. Sometimes it could be the battery, sometimes it could be something else. So my multimeter is ready. As you can see there, I just want to see. Let me check the battery. All right. So to do this simple job, you need a multimeter that shows voltage, of course, in DC. You also need a way of removing these side panels. Like for this one, it uses Allen keys. So in that case, you have also options. You can go for this. These are cheap ones. They just throw them. Most of the things when you buy, they throw this in for you to use. But this is a bit slow. They're just something else. You can also use this. This I carry. It's a multimeter with different sizes. But when I'm home with my toolbox, the best option I go for is this, where I use this one. I don't know if the camera can focus. That's a size 5 millimeters. So that's what you use. So this one, I use it with my cordless drill. This makes life a bit easier than if I was going to use the other alternative. Because if I was going to use this one, can you imagine how long it would take to keep unscrewing? But with this, I think I'll be a bit faster. Done. So yeah, that's the thing. So to remove the side panel, there's just a tab here where you just push it like that, then you hold it like that, then you're done. You put this safely. Otherwise, these tend to, the plastics that come with these motorbikes, they tend to be quite pricey. They're expensive compared to other parts. It's surprising to see how other aluminum parts are cheaper, but these plastics, they tend to be quite expensive. So just keep it somewhere safe and don't lose your screws. So here's my battery, as you can see. So my multimeter, this is a 12 volts. So I'll put my multimeter there at 20 volts DC. Right, I have way too many cables attached there. All right, so I'll put my negative on negative. Let's go. Oh yeah, just clamp it like that. Oh yeah, my positive there. So my battery is at 11.26. No wonder why the bike can't start. No wonder why the bike cannot start. So 11 point, I don't know if the camera can focus. It's a bit difficult, isn't it? 11.25. So that's my current situation. So I'm glad it's a battery. The battery is quite expensive to replace, but at least I'm glad it's I found a fault anyway. So yeah. Okay, so I was you know, sometimes these videos, you never know who's watching. It's not everyone who's an expert. Sometimes it's just people who are learning, just the way we've all learned. So I wanted to say something about the multimeter. For those that are, you know, are professionals, you can just skip this part. But for those that are new to these things, is whenever you're checking for voltage using a multimeter, I'll talk so much about DC. There is a range. There is always a range. Like this one, there's 2 volts. Then there's 20 volts, 200 volts. Then there's 1000 volts. So if the battery you're checking is a 1.5 volt battery, then you put it at 2. Always choose a number which is higher than the voltage that you're checking. That's the way you use this machine. So always go for something higher than the voltage you're checking. So if it's a 24 volts, you can't use 20, you go to 200. So yeah, I just thought I mentioned that. So next is just removing the battery. I've heard some people that say whenever you're checking the battery voltage, it's always a good idea to remove it completely, disconnect it. I don't know. So we'll do both. We'll try everything. So for now, there we go. That's one terminal out. We don't really need to remove all the terminals, because once one terminal is out, I mean, it's the same thing now. So let's try with one terminal out. Let's see, our voltage is at 20 volts, so that's easy to check. Oh, okay. Check that. It's off. Wait a minute. What am I missing here? This is strange. Ooh, my keys were still left on. It was still drawing power there. My keys were left on start. Okay, that's 12.11. They don't say 12.11, by the way. I don't know. I wish they were just saying 12.12. But hey, we see what they say. So 12.13. It keeps going up. I don't know if you can see it there. So in this case, I may need to follow my line. Sometimes the battery could be not bad. Sometimes it could be one of the, maybe there's a short circuit somewhere. There's parasitic power drain somewhere. There's something that is draining power which is supposed not to do so. So in this case, I think I may need to look a bit more further, like to investigate before I just rush into. So I've put the terminal, okay, 12.15. Man, 12 point something. Let's try it. Let's try to start the bike. Let's try it. So yeah, we're going to try the bike. We see where the problem is. Oh man, what's happening here? So we'll try to start the bike there, so that we see what's happening. Okay, all you need is just to make sure that you put this little screw here. It's actually harder to do this with something else, but when you're using this cordless drill, it's usually fast. It grips it much faster. There we go. So it has a clutch mechanism. That means you can't over tighten that one. So now that I've put that one back, let's see. I'm trying to establish why it was showing a higher number when I disconnected it. So now let's see. I hope you can see there. 12.17. Well, all right, the fuel is on. Yes, okay. Let's try to start it. So on, clutch, nothing. So, could it be the battery? Oh, it's something else. What do you think? Okay, so yeah, I'd stepped out a bit to. I know you could be wondering, like, but why not just kickstart the bike? Yeah, that would be nice, but except that I removed the thing for kickstarting. It's supposed to be here. It's supposed to be here. I don't know. I just didn't like the idea of moving with it. And besides, like, most of the time when the bike is moving, I don't know what was happening, but it felt like the engine is running, then you're trying to crank it. So there was that weird sound just from the thing being there. So I'd removed it to avoid that. So, but the thing is, I've managed to get some. Yeah. All right. So this is the thing for cranking. So I'll try to crank it. Sometimes the batteries, I think they might show voltages, but then voltage and amps, they're two different things. It might be 12 watts, but then the amps are quite low, not enough to start the engine. So yeah, there's that possibility. So for now, I'm going to try to crank and see what happens. Yep, it's time to crank it. See, let's go. There it goes. So it's always important to check the voltage when the engine is running, and you expect to see the voltage rising up. It's supposed to be somewhere 13 when the alternator is charging well. In this case, we say when the charging system is charging well. Man, I'm a car guy. Yeah. So let's see. You can see that. I don't know. Let me put my hand this side so it's much better. See somewhere there. So my charging system is okay. So that is 13.5, 13.52, and it's going up. So that there says the charging is okay. Charging is okay. So now, in this case, what do I do? Alright, I've turned off the engine, and the plan is to try to start it again. Let's see if maybe we check the voltage first, quickly, before I even start the engine. See, yeah. So 12.75. Can you see that? 12.75. So is it gonna run? I don't know. I wish it does. Let's go. There you go. Yeah, man. I think in conclusion, the time was a bit too little for the engine to charge this little battery. So in this case, I may need to crank it, go for a short ride, then I'll come back and check to see if it can crank by itself. But so far it's I don't know. I think what kills the battery most of the time could be the heat. When you live in a place which is very hot, where I live, it's quite hot in the hot season. It's very, very hot. And the room where I store my battery, where I store my motorbike, for safety reasons, it's a very hot room as well. I'll try to work on the ventilation. Then the other thing that kills the battery is the short distances. I make a lot of short distance going to work. As you know, I'm a registered nurse, so I have to go to the hospital at the end of the day. So the hospital is not very far away from home. I think it's about maybe 200 to 300 meters. Really, I'm supposed to walk. Yeah. So I ride this machine going to work most of the time. So it's a short distance. That means whenever you're starting the engine, when you're starting the engine, it draws a lot of power from the battery. It draws a lot of power, a lot of current has to go through these wires for the engine to start. So now, when you draw such amount of power, you need to drive a bit longer to give the system enough time to charge the battery. But in this case, if you're doing a lot of short distances, that means the battery doesn't have a lot of time to charge. So by so doing, your battery will definitely. This is maintenance-free battery. It's not the one where you put the acid. I like maintenance-free batteries because the whole acid thing is confusing. You know, sometimes people say, no, just add distilled water. Others will be like, no, just add the acid. It's confusing. So I stick to these a bit easy for someone who's not into batteries and stuff. All right. So the last important part is just putting back this. Of course, making sure whenever you do some works, the principle is always that you make sure that you leave things the way they were. That's why if you can't remember things, you always take photos before you open anything. Take photos so that it's easy to remember, like, oh, this was here, this was here. And always make sure that, especially batteries, you make sure that they are very securely tightened safely so that you don't have any short circuit which could result in a fire. All right. All right, put that one back. Okay. Done and dusted. Bam. All right, guys. Just coming back from about the 10 kilometers, right? So this time around, I'll turn off the engine and try to start. Let's see if it will work. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So the conclusion is just that the battery is in a bad state. I just need to replace it. But for now, I'll be using the kickstart. I really hate it, but surprisingly, when I went for a road test, it didn't give me problem. It didn't do that thing which I said that makes some weird noise. So I think I'll just stick to, I'll be cranking for now. Then I'll just replace the battery as soon as possible. Otherwise, thank you for watching, and I would appreciate if you just click that like and subscribe to this channel for more contents.